Hello everyone, welcome back to Old Dad's Modeling Mess. And in today's video, we continue with the King 34 build. I was able to figure out the wheels and tracks pretty easily. As you can see there, I've already got them done, and I thought they were actually going to be the hardest part of this build. And in all honesty, it really wasn't that hard. The German wheels, the holes for the pins there that the wheels go on were smaller than the pins that are on the T34 suspension. So easy fix, just drill the hole out. They went right on, no problem. The drive sprocket, that was the only issue I had out of all of this, and that's just because it was inset so much that I couldn't get there was no connection for the pin. So I just added a piece of styrene tube, and instead of trying to fill it up and drill it out and all that, I cut out the center of the drive sprocket on the T34, and I glued it to the styrene tube and then glued that to the drive sprocket, and poof. That was the hardest part of all of it, was just bringing that out just so I could get the wheel to fit on the pin for it. Other than that, yeah, it was, as you can see, they're already done, ready to go. They're just waiting. So with that actually not being as hard as I thought it was going to be, okay, it's time to start adding on all the extra goodies. I can't remember if I had already added the photo etch on the back there and the couple wire grab handles and stuff, but right here I decided that since this is a captured and modified T34 from the Germans, I'm going to add some of their tools. So as I go through here, I'm adding on the hammers and stuff like that. And anybody that's watched my videos knows I'm not a fan of having all that extra room left over on fenders. Now these aren't big fenders, but yeah, I couldn't leave it like that, and I had to, besides the tracks and the gun and the mantle or the commander's cupola, I wanted more on there to show that this isn't your normal average T34. So I went through and I added all that on there. I added on some spare track links where the ice cleats normally go. I did keep the saw from the T34 kit. And as I was digging and rummaging through all my extra parts and stuff like that, I think I've got like 6 or 8 boxes of them now. I couldn't find a good shovel or a axe. Apparently, axes I'm completely out of. I don't have any unless I steal them from another new kit, and I'm not going to do that. And I was messing around with one of the guys in Discord, and I posted something in about the first build video, talking about it, and he had said something about he was watching the video and something about how the Germans had actually done this. And so me being a smartass, I was just like, oh, so what you're saying is I should take the T34 tracks and put on the Panther. He was like, oh, no. Well, I was joking with him, and I'm not going to lie, I actually held the wheels up there, and I messaged him back in Discord, and I'm like, I may have to go down that rabbit hole with that, because it kind of gives you the Leopard 1 vibe if you actually hold the T34 tracks up to it. So I'm not going to use any more of the Panther parts because I might need them for that. So no axe. And if I did steal the the shovel off the Panther, it's as big as that bar is there, and there's nowhere to put it. So the only thing I had was some of you keen eye viewers may have seen it already. I grabbed a extra shovel from my Hellcat build, and it fits perfectly on there. I wanted it to look good, and where I was placing it at right there behind where these extra track links go, it didn't really leave me a whole lot of room. So if I was to put the big shovel on there, I wouldn't be able to put the extra wire grab handles on above the tools there and the extra track links. So I stuck with that. Now I did keep the original saw, like I'd said, and yeah, this is actually went together a lot better and easier than what I had thought of. So let me throw a song in here, because you guys know how I am. I like to listen while I'm building, so I will check back in with you guys here as soon as this is over with. It's time to get started on the turret. There's not a lot, but it's going to make it look better, I believe. And I'm not going to go full on Tiger TrackLink turret style, but I am going to add a few to it. There's a lot of real estate there on the sides of that thing, and I want to take some of it up. And I mean, we've got 4 extra track links and the few that are there on the front of it, So I just gotta give it that German vibe, and add a couple more. Nothing horrible or anything like that. But they went on. When I do this stuff like with this here, you can see I use some photo etch sprue that I had, some leftovers, because I always save that stuff just for this sort of thing. And I just bend it up to make me a little holder, and it works. So I put these on, and then I wanted to leave enough room for the decals, because I am going to put German markings on it and stuff like that. But I think if you look at it now, I think it looks better than what it did when it didn't have them on there. I could be wrong, but you guys let me know. I did have issues though with, I don't know how many times I broke them off. I almost left them off, but then I was like, no, it's just it doesn't have the right vibe. So the machine gun here, that is the holder is from my Stug build. It's my Stug 4. So it's an extra leftover, and the machine gun is either from the 35T or the 38T, because there was a couple of them. So, but it was too short, and I had to add a piece of round styrene rod to it to raise it up some. So I was able to do that, and then now it's just I need to set it off to the side, let it dry, while I start on the tie downs for the extra track links here. Again, just leftover photo etch sprue bent into shape to fit over it. Now I did take and on I think it was left over from the 38T build where I got all that extra photo etch stuff from, and I found some buckles, so I put them on top of the straps just to give it that little extra detail. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. But I think it looks good, and for me it's getting more of that German vibe to it by doing this. So you guys check this out. I'm going to sneak in, I think, maybe one more song real quick, and then yeah, we'll get this finished. Okay, now that all the goodies are on, the real test is coming up here, because I can't lie. After doing all of this, I've never once test fit the fenders to the kit or to the model here with the tracks on it. So this is where I'm going to find out either they work or I'm in for it, because I'm going to have to build my own. And that throws me into a conundrum, because if I have to build my own, which I absolutely have no problems doing, do I make them wide enough to fit over the tracks all the way? I personally like how the tracks stick out. To me, it kind of reminds me of when I was a younger kid, way back when, and you used to run those big Mickey Thompson 50s in the back, and you had your car all jacked up and the tires stuck out really wide, so that the way that the tracks were fitting on here, it gave me that, and I really liked it and wanted that. And luckily enough, by however it happened, they fit. They absolutely fit on here. There's no issues or anything like that. I didn't have to modify them. None of that. They just, it's almost like it was made for them. It just, I did, before I put these on, I did try the more squared ones, and they fit too. I just didn't like the look. Normally I do. I like the squared fenders more, because if I'm not mistaken, I think these round fenders are the older ones. Okay. I could be wrong about that. If I am, you can yell at me down in the comments and stuff. But the round ones here just fit this so much better, I thought. So I went with them. Now the rear fenders, those there, hit and miss, but they went on. I do believe that when I glued these on, I think I didn't get to put them in the actual spot. I actually just put them where they're supposed to go, but I left that little gap all the way around them. So I glued the outer edge of the fender to the outer edge of the kit itself, and they fit better that way. Because if you notice there, you can see how it just sticks out just a little bit farther than the fender itself does. And for me, it looked better that way. It's hard to explain unless you're actually holding it and looking at it. Because if you do that, it almost kind of like insets it just a little bit. And I didn't like the way that looked. So I played with them, but either way, they were on there. As you can see, no modifications were needed or anything like that. And technically, the build is done. It's got the German gun, it's got the machine gun, it's got the commander's cupola, it's got the running gear and the wheels. So yeah, the last little thing here is to add these, which I didn't realize until I was putting the fenders on, was I forgot to add these two little hooks here. I do have holes drilled for the cable, because I'm going to run the tow cable a different way. So I do have the tow cable. It will be on there. But as always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. If you enjoy this type of stuff, don't be afraid. Drop a like and a comment down below. That helps. If you're not already, consider subscribing. That really helps the channel grow. and we're growing pretty quick. We have almost 230 subscribers in 4 months, and that is absolutely awesome. We're well on our way to 500 by the end of the year, so let's make that happen. Again, you guys are awesome. So subscribing, it's free, doesn't cost you nothing except for a notification when I post new videos. We have a Discord, link is down in the description below. Until next video, guys, I will see you later. Bye bye.